Hey everyone, welcome to Creating with Semaj. If you're new here, I am so happy to have you. And if you are returning, welcome back. And thank you to all of my new subscribers. Today, we're diving into intuitive art, or creating without a plan. The idea is to just let go, trust your instincts, and let the process lead you. But before we get started today, I wanted to go over the supplies we'll be using. So we have our autographic liners we might be using today for our work. We also have our trusty Prang watercolor set because that's available to most everyone. Next we have Karen. These are Neo Color 2 crayons. So they are crayons that when you add water to them, they explode with color. So they're like watercolor in a stick form. So we're going to be playing with that today. I also got these about 10 years ago as a gift. They are Faber-Castell, or maybe they were 7 years ago. But anyway, they are watercolor pens, and they have a nice little side there that's kind of a point. And then it has the other side that is kind of more of a fine tip. So we might be using this as well today. And we have our trusty Canson watercolor paper. So if you are ready to get started on this super fun adventure today, I am ready to get started with you. We have all of our supplies. I did not get my watercolors moistened, so let's do that. Let's see that there. Okay, good morning, welcome. Or whatever time it is that you happen to be tuning in, whether it's morning, noon, or night. I am so happy to have you here with me, tapping into your intuitive side. So what do I want to do today? I think that I've been watching videos about people who are having fun. So let's do that. Let's not have a plan. I'm going to take this dark color and let's go ahead and start today. Thanks for being here. When we're really doing this intuitive process, I really want you to not have a plan, right? I want you to just go with the flow. Intuitive art is all about being fully present. Trust that each mark stroke or color will lead to something. Think of it as a journey that unfolds as you go. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Whatever you create is a reflection of what you're feeling right now. When you start, let go of expectations. Let go of what you might have attached to the finished piece. Instead, let's just focus on what you're feeling and what you're drawn to. Maybe it's a color. Maybe it's a shape. Maybe it's a texture. Wherever it's going, whatever tool you're using, whatever you're going to pick up and use next, just go with it. Just go with what feels right. Maybe a brush stroke is going to inspire something for you. Maybe that's what's going to happen. And maybe the key is not to second guess yourself in that experience of the brush stroke, but instead to just allow yourself to respond to what's there. Right now, I'm just putting these colors in to the spots that it feels right for me. I just felt like this is where these blues needed to be and where that purple needed to be, right? So I just want to find space here to feel whatever I need to feel and not worrying about the outcome, but just enjoying the process. Intuitive art can tell you really so much about yourself. I might realize a color or form feels tied to what maybe I'm experiencing. A bold stroke might represent energy, or a softer one might show calm. I don't know what it's going to show up for you or how that's going to show up for you, but it's important to reflect on that and to figure out how that's going to work. We've been talking that intuitive art is not about perfection. It's about expression. If something doesn't look as expected, well, just embrace it. That is part of the process. Just go ahead and lean into the process. Imperfections may be the portals to what you're wanting to learn about yourself in that creation. Something that we talk a lot about in process painting, we talk about how we let go of the end result because doing so allows us to have more freedom and space in the piece. I think that it's really important when you're working in your space of intuitive art to really focus and listen to that voice of, does it feel complete? I think that's an important voice to hear in this process of what we're doing, because sometimes you can work on a piece and really be excited about it and be really happy and feel that you're done with it, but the piece itself is not complete. So let's just give space to the things that want to be what they want to be. For me, I personally know it's complete when I feel fully expressed in something. The other day I spoke in the video about it being like music or listening to a song, how oftentimes it will have a particular rhythm. It will have a beginning, a crescendo, then it'll maybe soften out. That's what happens. And sometimes when we're creating, it's a big, bold finish, or sometimes it's just a gentle step back. Remember we talked about you might needing to just step away from your art for a minute. Give it space to express itself the way it wants to express itself. But as I sit with my painting, whatever that painting is, trying to figure out if we're in a space or an area of completion, I may just be quiet and just sit with it and watch it and see what happens. See what shows up for it. Turn that, because we can do that. Remember, we talked about that yesterday. You can turn your paper. That makes it really, really fun. You're not locked into that one position. If you feel like you can't get into that space, maybe your hand is going to touch it and smear or ruin something, feel free to move your paper. It's all movable. I am just going with the flow, and I'm not really thinking about what I'm doing. I am just going with the intuitive process. We're just coming up to finishing our piece today. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I appreciate your attention. Hope this allowed you to just zone out for a minute or two while I am filling in these spaces with color. I'd love to just share a couple of final thoughts with you about this process of what we're doing here, which is completely intuitive. Touched into that area, didn't want to, but it happened, let it go. Not worrying about it. Might turn into something fun later. Let's see what happens when we mix this together. Ooh, and maybe allow that other color to blend in. That's fun. No expectations. Remember, we're just creating. We're just enjoying the experience of creating and letting go. Intuitive art encourages us to embrace who we are without the judgment. Whether you're a seasoned artist or just starting out, this probably is one of the most freeing things about creating your intuitive art. And remember, intuitive art is all about the process. And it really isn't at all about the product, because we have no attachment to the end result of what it is that we're creating. We let that go before we even started the process. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. If you like the content, be sure to like and subscribe. That thumbs up really helps the algorithm. It also lets someone else get the message who just might need to hear it. I appreciate so much you taking and spending these minutes with me. Wherever you are, I trust you have an amazing day.